Hi guys, Christy here with Just Saying. Let's make another Christmas card. Today's card is using one stamp set. Here's the card, a cute little snowman. I've used Stampin' Up's Work of Art stamp set. This one I have in a clear mount stamp set, which is on a red rubber backing, not photopolymer, which is truly clearly through. I'm using this stamp here, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and using those parts I've put together my snowman's face, scarf, and top hat. So I'm going to get started on what I've done. I'm using Stampin' Up products mostly, Old Olive, Basic Black Archival ink, Tangerine, Tango, and Real Red. I've cut the base of the card in Whisper White 100 pound, and it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. So scoring it and folding it in 4 1/4. It'll be on a side. The layer below or above is 5 1/4 by 4, and that's in Old Olive, matching the top hat. And this piece here in the 80 pound Whisper White, it's a bit thinner, it's a good layering weight, is 5 by 3 3/4. So starting with this card, I've mounted some stamps on some rubber blocks, acrylic blocks, and I have kind of double mounted them just because I don't have two, but I can still see through the clear block to know where I'm placing the cards. I'm just going to start with the Real Red and start with the scarf. Let's just bring this card back in. There we're going. There we are. Oh, I can't do that. Then I won't be able to stamp. Okay, so that'll just stay there in the corner for placement. I'm using this one here. It's the curved big brush stroke, and that's going to be the scarf to go around his neck, as well as the ties. So starting this one, I'm starting at the lower end of the card, centering the stamp on the cardstock. Turn. And now these will be the ties, the overlapping bits of his scarf. So quite simply, there's the scarf done. And I'm done with Real Red. Now the mouth is Basic Black Archival ink, like I said. So this takes a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to stamp just his mouth first, starting in the center. You can't see it because the heart's there. Let's remove that. And then close to the next one, putting down some lumps of coal to make a smiley face. Now I need to do his eyes as well, but I don't know yet the placement of his eyes until I can put down his nose in Tangerine Tango. And that goes on that same block, but on the other side. So the bumps of the heart are becoming the nostrils, and the tip of the heart is the tip of his nose. Just inking that up. Centered. Perfect. Done with Tangerine Tango, and back to the Black Archival. So doing this black, I need to give it a little bit of time to let the ink dry and absorb into the cardstock. But that is done. This is going to be such a quick card. Next up I have Old Olive, and that's going to be the brim of the hat as well as this top hat. Just inking up now the skinny little line, and on a jaunted angle stamp the brim of his hat. And now the top hat. Now this brush stroke out of the Work of Art stamp set has a kind of a gouge here with the brush. I'm using that as a placement for an embellishment on this card. The card is fairly flat and good for mailing, but I'm using that to put a snowflake and a rhinestone. And I don't know if you can see, but I've gone down what looks like quite low on the brim, but the stamp does not go all the way to the bottom. There's some extra stamp material there. So it looks like I'm going to go and overshoot it, but I haven't, and I've done quite a bit of these cards. So there's the face of my snowman. He is pretty much done. So I'm just going to take this, flip it over. I'm going to gently put it down so the black doesn't smear, and using some adhesive, do the white on the green, and now the green on the white. Now if you hold the card somewhere on the corner, you can kind of line up all 4 sides of your card, gently moving it around, not pushing it, until you're ready and happy with the placement, and then rubbing it down to get a good stick. Okay, so the embellishments I'm using for this is a rhinestone, which is not Stampin' Up, and it does not have a rubber adhesive backing, so I've put it on a mini glue dot, as well as a snowflake embellishment. Not sure if it's, I think it's Stampin' Up, I'm not absolutely sure. It's in a reused container. It might just be something that I got to make shaker cards with. Actually, I did a calming jar for my daughter, and I had snowflakes and sequins and glue and water and food coloring, and it's just magical. Okay, so now I've got a mini glue dot behind the rhinestone, a mini glue dot behind the snowflake, and I can just put it here, covering off that little bit of missing stamp. That's the card. This card is super flat for mailing, like I said, and it doesn't need a greeting. How holiday-ish is this without having to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and 'tis the season. It's all done here for you with the happy smiley face. So I thank you for watching my many cards of Christmas, and I'll see you next week with another one. Thank you.